Welcome to episode 59 of Beer with Strangers.
So the show starts with us just sitting there like listening to Jose.
All right, I'm confused. We're gonna start again, kids.
We'll get there. You hear a day.
All right, so this one we're closing. That is crazy. Is there one left? Cancel. Welcome to Beer with Strangers. Try it again. If this is the second week, you're like, last week they just stared at the screen for 20 minutes. So we'll give them one more shot, and this is the shot we get. I apologize, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to episode 59 of Beer with Strangers. I'm your host, Tony Russo, and I'm joined this week by official pinch hitter Sean Hager.
What's up, guys?
Weather report to keep Doug happy. It's brutal. It's brutal, and it's going to get brutaler.
It's hot. It's humid. It sucks. Drink cold beer. Don't go outside.
I have here that nice saison that they make, the sassy saison, just classic, right? Just right down the middle.
Yep. I'm drinking an energy drink right now. I went to the Orioles game last night, and I drank way too much really overpriced bad beer, and I'm trying to get the caffeine to get the headache to go away. But I did go to Pratt Street Ale House, and I had two beers. I had their Hoppy Red. I don't remember what it's called. It was good, though. Actually, it was really good. But first, because, it was a good 95 degrees, hot, humid. So the first thing I got was a Imperial Porter, oak-aged.
Something nice and light.
Nothing says summer like that. And it was fantastic. Luckily, the air conditioning was on nice and strong, and it felt a bit like fall. So that was good. And then we went to the Orioles game where I proceeded to drink Natty Boh.
All the beers.
For $8.75 a can.
That's tough.
That hurt.
Tough.
At least
It's
a big can.
Yeah.
That's the only redeeming factor. But yeah.
It's a little aggressive. I mean, with there are other people who have said it better, but they make you feel like the problem with baseball is it's only in cities. So
yeah.
One of the things that we complain about, I'm genetically, I haven't watched basketball end to end in 1,000 years, but genetically I'm a Knicks fan. I used to watch Knicks when I was up there. And when I was a kid, it was really, really cheap. And you can go and you can get nosebleeds for just a couple bucks, and we could run up there and we could, see a game on an afternoon, on an evening, on a school night, and still be home by like midnight.
Right.
But now the tickets are outrageously expensive.
Oh yeah,
the Knicks are incredibly bad, and it doesn't matter because there are millions of people who want tens of thousands of seats, and
the Cubs.
The
Cubs
they can't be bad enough.
I mean, it's I am first and foremost a hockey fan, and I don't think I can find a more expensive sport to go see
than hockey.
Yeah, and I'm a Bruins fan, and even though we sucked something awful this year,
that's a Boston team. Boston teams are like New York teams that way. It's just no tickets anywhere.
Yeah, and it's insane. I don't go up to Boston. I go to DC to watch them, and it was like $100 a ticket, and I was just, you've got to be kidding me.
Tough.
But it's still a game.
Go, you got to go.
There, you get to actually hear it echo when somebody gets punched in the face. That's got to stand for something, I guess.
My brother's father-in-law has Rangers season tickets and has had. I have no idea what.
The season ticket holders, they get a good deal as opposed to.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I told a friend of mine what I paid for Bruins tickets, who was one row up, and she just looked at me like, "Ouch!"
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that makes it hurt worse.
But anyway, what we'd like to talk about today is it's fest season, and we're going to plug our joint venture on Saturday. You guys are still going on Saturday?
Doug will be there. I'll be manning the helm here.
I'm going to go hang out with Doug, and we're going to be at the Bike and Brew?
Yes, for Laurel Chamber of Commerce.
Would you like to talk about that a little bit? Do you know anything about it?
Sure. Well, I rode in it last year. I did 15 miles on a bike last year. This year, didn't dust my bike off, and I haven't quite built the stamina back up to do it, so I'm not going to ride in it this year. It was brutally hot. the last bit of it last year. But this year, it's everybody had a lot of fun. There was a lot of people, and it was what was really neat about it was there was all age groups, all skill levels, and there was different rides. It was like an 8 mile or it was a 5 mile fun ride, a 8 mile just a hey this is cool ride, 10, 15, 25, 50, and I think there might have been a metric century, which is 63 miles, I think. Basically, you all meet up at the school, hop on your bikes. It's a grand just go. You ride. It's not timed. There's checkpoints to get some food and drinks on the way. And then when it's all done, you come back and you get some awesome food and beer. You get a couple tickets, I think. And we were serving sodas because of licensing things. But you got to get some hydration before you start getting the alcohol in the system. And it's really good. I mean, I don't know.
Now, did it happen? Does it end at the park? It ends on Broad Creek someplace?
Yeah, right across from the I am so
Abbott's.
bad. Abbott's, yes.
One of my
Abbott's on the water.
restaurants.
Yeah, the food is amazing. Those guys are really awesome too. They helped us out with a wine event we did, and their food just rocks. And good beer selection too. But they do the food.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dogfish this year is doing the beer.
Evo's going to be there.
Evo's well. Okay.
I was talking to them yesterday.
Yeah. Last year was only one brewery, and this year
I think they may have a couple.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's even better. And basically, you just get to hang out. And I don't know if you guys are into bicycling at all. You know, it's a really cool community. Everybody just kind of flops the bikes down, hangs out. You know, just talks this, that, talks bikes, talks beer, talks food. And you just there's some live music, or there was last year. I'm pretty sure it'll be again. And just enjoy the rest of your day. It's a lot of fun. It's a good event.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Because I'm going to cover it for my job for the newspaper. But I'm also going to be hanging around trying to sell the last couple books if I can. Give a little nudge to the
hint, wink, wink.
To the old books. If you want to come out and get a double signed book, I will. It's already signed. I'll inscribe it personally to you,
yes.
like Dear Ed or whatever your name happens to be. That's tomorrow. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was like what it's like to stand there at those things. Like you get to meet all sorts of different people. You know, what are the upsides and downsides of doing those things? Up
until I worked here, I had never done a festival, and one of the first ones I did was the Good Beer Fest, and
you guys do great at that.
Oh yeah. As of last year, we pretty much took the helm of the whole homebrew competition, and we have our own little roped off section, so we can actually serve our homebrew as opposed to taxed liquor. It's kind of neat because people, well, my neighbor makes beer and I had it once in the 70s, and people don't realize that
how much better is it. The line is always incredible there. Like people line up.
I had a blast, an absolute blast doing it. And you get to see all walks of people. You get the people who are like, hey, I got a free ticket. I'm going to get drunk. Like, hey, what's it say, son? I don't care. Does it have alcohol? I'll drink that. Then you have people who will beer nerd you out, who I've learned things from. Some folks, we get to meet people from all over. One of the best ones I did was the National Homebrew Conference. That was
this year, right?
We went in 2013.
Year? Oh.
2014 was Michigan, and 2015 was this past weekend, and it was San Diego.
Oh, all right.
So we didn't go to that one. But if it comes back to the East Coast, we'll definitely do it again. It was wild. 3,000 homebrewers.
Wow.
And, vendors, you name it. And we did a cask of an IPA, which, typically you don't see IPA casks.
Right.
And a couple of the other vendors, like people that we don't even deal with, tasted it and were telling people to come by and try it. And we ended up having like a 20-person line lined up to get this firkin. And right about that time, Sam Calagione, who most people know we're friends with, showed up to sign books. So now we have a line for him, a line for beer. everybody's talking. Oh, it was wild. It was 3 days of it, and I mean, we blew through so much beer. I personally love the fests. I have a really good time, even the ones that are very slow for us.
And you can't when you can't have samples.
Yeah, if I can't serve samples, a lot of people don't come talk to me, but that's fine. Most of the time, I have a hop hat on, so I look like a ginger bearded hop.
Yeah,
and that gets some attention, and it's pretty fun. I sweat to death, but it's worth it. So it's a good time. I learn almost as much as I tell people from being there. It might not be about beer, but I learned something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's neat because each year you'll notice a beer theme. Like 1 year IPAs, everybody wants IPAs. Hop, 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 hop. Then you get another group. It'll be, I want real malty beers, or I want light and fizzy. And you get the typical. You got Budweiser,
right?
One thing I found really neat. You don't see. How can I word this? Publicly, you don't see a lot of female craft beer,
Right?
Like people who are really into it, and a lot of times at the festivals, I'm like, okay. A lot of these ladies are going to come up and they're going to want, something lighter.
Right.
And I have found that women who are like, I don't drink beer.
Right.
Will love a hoppy IPA.
Really?
They love it. She's like, oh, this is like grapefruit juice. It was
the floral part of it? Or?
Yeah, like the real citrusy in your face. And it was amazing to me because one guy, a big burly guy, he comes up and is like, oh, that's nasty. How can anybody drink that? And his little teeny tiny petite wife was like, oh, that's delicious. It was hands down like the hoppiest IPA I've ever made.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, it has to do with it's cool to be a part of something. This is one of the things is like you can get to be a part of something without being committed to it. So it's not like a club that you have to join. It's just something that, you go and you hang out. Generally like-minded people, everybody's there to have a good time and to drink beer. I thought you were going to say sours at one point. Yesterday, I was speaking with Donny at Evo.
Okay.
You know him? I feel like his last name is Johnson, but that just feels wrong. Don Johnson, right? That's not right, is it? Anyway.
Let's get a Ferrari.
He's crazy into sour beers, but he doesn't drink beer on his own. Like, if he's in his house by himself, no beer. He only shares sours with people. That's like his thing. But he'll carry sours around and like trade and stuff like that. One of the couple things we were talking about. Let's keep it with sours for now. But I want to come back to him. He was talking about Burley has a festival this weekend too. They're having their sour festival.
We were supposed to do that one too. Sorry, Nikki. We had actually double booked this weekend, and yeah, we just don't have enough coverage to do both.
Yeah.
So,
well, they count on you and Laurel. I mean, you're chamber members and stuff like that. But yeah, so everybody's really excited for the Sour Fest. And I, coincidentally or not so coincidentally, did a blog today for showcraftbeer.com talking about like the festival mentality and how it's the idea for a lot of these craft brewers is to just normalize beer. It's like, just again, it's not about coming out and getting loaded. It's just about coming out and making the brewery, bringing the breweries back to being kind of the center of the community. So a lot of them do this. Third Wave does it. Burley does it. They don't have a lot of room in the winter time. Evo does they do a lot of like fundraisers and stuff like that in there. But they don't have the kind of property where you could. And in Salisbury, I can't imagine the nightmare trying to rope off that parking lot. How long would it take to get permission for that?
I mean, walking on that parking lot, those are big stones.
Yeah.
It's an ankle cracker.
But this idea of bringing breweries back to being a town center is something that a lot of these people, Third Wave, Tall Tales, same thing. Tall Tales does all sorts of innovative things with that property that they have there. Speaking of which, in October, I think, in September, October, in the fall, Tall Tales is going to have a sleepover.
What?
Yeah, they're going to have a beer sleepover. They're going to have a bonfire, and there's there's a ticket. Let's say it's like $75, and you sleep there, you drink beer all night, and they have a bonfire at night. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to that.
That sounds like it would be quite awesome.
Yeah, I'm usually not a ticket buying guy, But yeah, I think I would love to do that. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to tell you about Donny, who may or may not be Johnson, is we were talking yesterday about his love of sour beers and how he does. I'm like, well, how do you get him? He's like, well, I like to trade beers, and he's like, and I'm in an excellent region for trading beers because the beers that these breweries here put out in the big 750s, people really want them. People who don't live here, like I was saying, like the Dogfish Head, the Grateful Dead one, and I'm like, he's like, that goes at a premium. He's like, I can pick it up for $12. You can't even get it at $12. When you can get it, it's more than $12. Off the shore. And so that's what he was saying, that that and then now Third Wave and Burley are doing these big. He said those Burley cans, people love them, and he trades them pretty easy.
The big cans. There's only 10 of those can machines in the country.
Oh wow! And we have 2 of them here. Rubber Soul.
They don't have one.
What do they have?
I don't think they have one of the big ones.
The 32 ounces.
I don't think so. Unless Jesse does something I don't know about.
We'll go look. Have you seen any of his cans?
Rubber Souls isn't open yet.
Oh, all right. Well, I did a story on them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw his canning machine. It looked like big cans.
Oh, really?
That would be cool if we had literally
2 of the 10. Yeah,
20%.
I know that. What's it called? Because Burley got theirs from Oscar Blues, their big can machine, and now they have their little can machine. I saw it the other day. I got to go back there and peek at it.
And again, if I can, I just got the banana for the first time in that. Is there banana in that?
Like it would be yeast. From the yeast.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if I can plug on surecraftbeer.com, you'll see they have photos that they took out there.
Actually, I went by there the other day after my other job and saw Lori from Third Wave, amongst others, at Burley Oak, discussing the surecraftbeer.com. So it was kind of neat.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I'm glad. I hope they do well. I don't. People think that I run it. I'm literally an employee, and I'm a barely paid employee. But it's cool. It's a cool thing to be a part of. I like to, I'm doing some investigative reporting for them, so hopefully we'll have some breaking news in the next 6 months. It's it's like actual real reporting. It's like what is it's about the different volumes of beer that we drink here in Maryland as opposed to Virginia, and I'm trying to find the craft beer destination that is most like us and see what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do a little story about, what they do versus what we do. So I'm going to talk to some Brewers Association people.
I just found out the other day we have another brewery coming that I did not know about.
Snow Hill?
Dewey Beach.
Oh, that one I knew. Isn't that the 7 something?
Yeah.
7.
Somebody told me about it. I'm starting to not be able to keep up with them.
Well, this book is going to write itself. Everybody's going to get a paragraph at this point. By the time
you get one sentence.
Yeah. I'll put just the addresses and a picture.
No, I heard about the Snow Hill one this weekend too. Apparently, that is the equipment.
The Lazy Lizard.
The Lazy Lizard equipment with the brewers. Where did I hear the brewers were from? There's a couple different brewers, and one of them was from I'm going to say Heavy Season. I know I'm wrong. It might have been one of those guys. It was pretty neat. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, they're not open.
No. Which that equipment is very lucky. That place burned down like 46 times.
Yeah,
and it just.
Well, hopefully they left the demons in Ocean City.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Didn't bring the fire gremlins out.
Right. But I mean, it's so many at this point. But I was just discussing this with a friend of mine who's going to be opening a new business venture, and I have not seen a brewery or winery fail yet here.
Yeah, no, I think we have several things going on. I gave a talk at the Ocean Pines Library, and it's funny. I teased Doug about this, and I've said this before. Like, I bounce ideas off Doug, and then based on his answers, I just come off like an expert. And so now people like, oh, what do you think about this? I'm like, well, I think I'll get back to you after I ask Doug what he thinks about it. But one of the things that we have, and this is actually for me, one of the things we have going for us is we're a very depressed area. Land here is cheap. It's not cheap. Like, all right, Snow Hill isn't that cheap for here. Ocean City isn't that cheap for here. But like beachfront property wise, Ocean City might be the cheapest beachfront property in the country. Outside of maybe Asbury Park, New Jersey, which is a hellhole. And Snow Hill, you can get a place and you can keep a place if you can keep from over leveraging yourself so that you don't have mortgage payments that you just have to like if you're counting on making massive profits right from the beginning, you're going to be in trouble. Yeah. But like the ladies at Third Wave, and I'm not saying that they don't work hard, and I'm not saying that they didn't put a ton of money into it, but they're in a position where they can grow, and like Delmar is so happy to have them grow. Oh yeah, they want to buy the lot behind. Yeah, sure, give me $5. Not really $5, but the land is cheap, and the access points. Like I said, these are beers that are in demand. Right. And so if you can get your production, if you can get good, and then get your production up, you can do very well here. Right. Very well. I know they're getting their bottler going. And I was talking to her about that the other day, and it's they're getting it. Bottling lines are a nightmare to begin with, but like you said, if you get that distribution out there, especially, at first it's easy to get the kegs out there. Right. But then if you can start getting something that people can take home, without having to go get a growler fill, that definitely helps a lot. And increasingly you can get growlers at more places, which is Maryland cool. Is, most bars, or a lot of the bars now, you can get growler fills. I have weird laws about the growlers at some places though, like you have to use their growler and things like that. Yeah, that's not a law. That's a cheapskate bullshit thing, which is why I don't buy growler fills at Cheers. I think that's law. No, it's not the law. They just don't like it. Really? Because people say things are law when they don't want to say I'm being a cheap prick. But fair enough. Fair enough. I still buy beer from Cheers because they have stuff that they have stuff really you can't get. So please don't get bad at me. No. I buy stuff. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. I buy beer at Cheers all the time. I'm just never going to get a growler filled at Cheers. Now, and also to be honest, I have to drive past Third Wave and Evo to get to Cheers. I don't. And pretty soon I'll have to drive past Third Wave, Rubber Soul, and Evo. Actually, I got to see the building. I drove by the other day on Northwood. That's nice. It's a nice building. Yeah, I haven't been inside yet. He's got plans for the outside that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, so I won't on the air. But we can chat about that later. It's very exciting. So the growler thing. One of the I was just someplace, and I kicked myself for not having a growler. Like I always have a growler in the car, and I had my wife's car, and I was in a brewery someplace around here. That narrows it down. No, it is gone out of my head. I'm so sorry. The point is that they were having some sort of sale, and it was like a $10 fill for the. Oh, you know what? It was at Rawr. I was at Rawr over the in Cambridge. Yeah, and they had like a $10. I think it was their growlers were like $10 to $12. Jeez, I'm banging out some Nantucket Nectar. Oh yeah, I love that beer. And so anyway, hi the guys at Rawr. I went there. Still doing great stuff there at Rawr. And everybody, I'm getting better at drinking beer. Like I'm getting better at understanding it from hanging around with these guys. And everybody's still getting better at making beer. Occasionally I'll have something I'm like, you know what? I see where you were going with it. Like reading. I can tell the difference between something that is good but I don't like and something that isn't any good. Right. And that's from practice. And now it's becoming like that with beer. I can tell the difference between something that I like. I'm sorry, something that I know is good but I don't like, and something that isn't any good. Right. I'm getting better at that, and I've yet to be disappointed. There's only one brewery I've had consistently not good beer from, and I'm not going to go down that road. No. I'm not going to publicly do that. But they have a fan base. Yeah. And they are still in business and have been in business for a long time, surprisingly. And cheers to them. That's awesome. You know your people. It might not be my taste. It might just be maybe I'm a beer snob. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like their beer personally. Every brewery I've been to, I think I found at least one thing I've liked. My buddy Keith is in the Midwest, Michigan, Missouri. what else is up there? Wisconsin, someplace like that. And they had a watermelon beer that he was trying. I hate watermelon beer a lot, but he sent me a picture. He sent me a picture of it, and they actually serve it with a watermelon like stuck on the top, with a wedge of watermelon stuck on the top. And he's like, I didn't know that it was going to come like this, and I figured since there was nobody to make fun of me for ordering it,
yeah,
I should send you a picture so you can give me shit when I get home.
It was funny the other day. I had some friends in that were getting some homebrew supplies, and we just got talking about beer in general, and I was like, I hate even admitting that, there's a certain drink that I like. And he's like, dude, it's all cool. He's like, we all drink crap stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I like this. And he's like, dude, he's like, that's the scourge of the earth stuff there. I'm like, man, don't judge me. We all have that one thing that we just, and mine, honestly, it's so shamed. Like, I love the huge danky IPAs. I love big, robust stouts. Obviously, everybody knows I hate Belgians in general.
That's why you made that kind of face when I'm like, I had that
banana thing.
Yeah.
So I don't like Belgians in general. But typically, most other beers I like. But I do, to this day. Maybe it's because when I was of the legal age of 21, one of the first things I drank was like Mike's Hard Lemonade malt drinks. I don't know why. I love them. And I'm so ashamed. And it's one of those things where, like, I want to drink it in a closed room with the lights off, blacked out windows so nobody knows that I'm doing it. But to this day, and I think that's why I like shandies and things like that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, see, it's a beer. But I'm also the same way with, like, mixed drinks. Everybody's like, oh, they'll get like some huge old school concoction. Like, I know you like your whiskeys and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like, look, if that thing's got umbrellas and fruits and little confetti sticking off it, I want it. I want that drink.
Yeah, no, not me.
But at the same time, I do like some of the robust stuff.
My favorite, there are two mixed drinks that I have. One is a martini and the other one is a Manhattan. And they're both whiskey. They're both liquor mixed with a little bit of wine. And that's as far out there as I'll go. Is
vermouth considered wine?
Yeah, it's a wine.
That's so gross.
So next week, we're going to talk about this more next week. But the other thing that I wanted to say about my new friend Donny Johnson, whose name might not be Johnson, is that he envisions a future where we start to have blending houses. Are you even from? I had never even heard of this.
Blending house.
Apparently very popular in Belgium, where they have the beers made elsewhere. They contract the beer out and then they funk it they make their own sours and stuff like that from other people's beer, and they take different beers and they mix them together and they sour them together and stuff like that. And that's fascinating to me.
That's awesome. I would like to see that.
I'll bet Doug knows about it.
He's been to Belgium, so I mean,
right.
He drank it from the source.
Yeah.
But now blending sours is a very common practice. Duchess de, can't pronounce that last word, Bourgogne?
Bourgogne.
Yeah, we'll go with that too. Duchess de, you should buy that, is a old batch and a new batch, an oaked batch and an unoaked batch.
Mixed together, yeah.
Yeah.
Now Ed can blend them cold, like Ed, our friend who helps out here sometimes. He'll taste one beer and taste another beer, and he can mix them together. And
he does it. He also has like 5 taps at his house, and he'd be like, and nail a beer every time.
Yeah, it's a specialty that's next on the list.
He's also the kind of person that can pick out all the nuances in English beer, and meanwhile, I'm like, that tastes like an English beer.
Very Englishy.
Yes, that tastes more malty than I'm used to. Which actually, we got a new grain this past week. It's a German grain called Red X. I finally got some in, and I made a smash beer with it. And used Spalt hops, which are incredibly low alpha. I tasted it today. It doesn't taste like I used hops at all.
Oh.
So if you want to try a very malt-forward new grain...
Oh, I'm for it. Is it going to be out here anytime soon?
Wednesday. I can probably pull you a sample off today if you want to try it. You guys can't have it till next week.
Speaking of which, do we have any classes? We're getting ready to wrap up here. Anything going on here? Well, catch us both at the Bike and Brew.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any more appearances?
Yes. Where I do not know as of now.
The Delaware, the barbecue thing. You guys doing that?
I don't know. Patty does all that stuff, and they tell me where to be, and I try to be there. Keep up on extremebrewing.com, facebook.com/Extreme Brewing with an X. And if you have any questions, you can email me, Sean at Extreme Brewing, also with an X. But typically the website will be the best place to know where we're going to be. We're always, at least Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 6 in Laurel, Millsboro, 9 to 5 on Saturdays, and every day but Wednesday, 10 to 5 in Lewis on Route 9 at Practically Yours Antiques. So you can always catch up with me one way or another.
Very cool. And we may be changing times. We'll be talking about this more later, but I may try to call this like the nooner. I'm thinking we're going to come in early. We're going to do this early, either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending upon what Sean and Doug like. But I'd like to do it earlier in the day.
Fits better with our schedules.
Yeah, it fits better. No, because a lot of times, like if I get hung up at work or whatever, I get here and this is literally he goes home in 15 minutes, so his day is over, and now he's got to listen to me yammer on and on. So we're gonna try to do it earlier.
Yeah, but you can catch me when I'm still half asleep, or hopefully not hungover like I am today at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
But other than that, thanks for bearing with us as we go through all of our transitions, and we will be back on the internet. I don't swear, but probably by July. I said probably by May, but I really mean probably by July. And that will catch you next week. Thanks for coming by.
See you guys.